And welcome back to another edition of the Podmen. I'm Brad.
I'm Brian.
I'm Podman Ron.
And I'm Alex.
I'm Jonah.
Hey, when the hell
Pod-Boy.
I'm Pod-Boy.
And Pod-Boy Jonah. I mean, this episode is full of surprises, shocks, and surprises. Literally just started recording, and Alex decided to join us. Before then, we'd kind of replaced him with the Pod-Boy.
I think Alex is like his ears were burning that he'd been replaced.
Exactly.
So he jumped on real quick to protect his spot.
That Pod-Boy ain't gonna take my place. Well,
Awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward, but I, for one, am glad to have you guys on board. On board for what I think we can call the Halloween spooktacular.
Oh, yeah. Halloween spooktacular.
Even PMR has watched the most recent trilogy of Halloween movies, and you went back to watch the original as well. So we'll talk.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit about that, and you've seen.
Extra large coffee with cream.
God.
Just in time for the podcast.
I mean, this is why. This is his.
You've watched the trilogy.
Yeah, this is what Podman Ron. This is his little revenge on me for wanting to record a little early. It's like, oh, you want to record earlier? Then you're going to have to hear my coffee order. You son of a bitch.
I had all this taken care of.
I don't know if that's true or not, Brian. But anyway, lots of stuff to talk about. Halloween, Black Adam.
Sugar-free vanilla. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, he's on a diet. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. He only wants 5 Splendids for that sugar-free. Great. Ask the barista if they've seen Black Adam yet. He's already gone.
What's happening?
Podman Ron's ordering coffee, and we're off to a great start. Anyway, Brian.
And the barista can't get it down, apparently. Brian, tell us what's been going on. There's been a lot of stuff up to like the past hour of the recording here. All kinds of stuff going crazy in the world, the nerd world.
Thank you.
Yeah, all sorts of announcements just recently. So earlier this week, there's rumors that Adam Driver is in talks to play a mystery role in Fantastic Four.
Who could that be?
I think it'd be a perfect Doctor Doom.
Oh.
I feel.
That would be
A brooding Doctor Doom, shirtless Doctor Doom, perhaps. Just like in Star Wars.
Why not?
Why not? Have that box of a body.
Yeah, I feel like it just makes the most sense. We can absolutely hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Another casting in the Marvel Universe, they're saying that Harrison Ford has been cast to replace William Hurd as Thunderbolt Ross.
Again, what?
And they're even showing mock-ups of
the Red Hulk as Harrison Ford.
Well, and people are kind of pissed about it, and you know why? Because they didn't recast Black Panther, but they recasted.
You got it.
Ross, so.
Yeah. So are people mad that they should have are they mad that they did recast Ross? But
I've read it both ways. I've read that they're
Of
mad
course.
that they recasted Thunderbolt Ross, and I read it that they're mad that they recasted the Black Panther. So it just depends on who's writing the article.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And but let's be honest. I mean, anyone casting Harrison Ford now that's a little foolish, right? I mean, you're going to have to recast this role in a few years.
He's going to die just as quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, just whether it's his bumbling airplane obsession or just his general elderly,
dementia.
Just bumbling. Yeah, so what body parts are he going to break? How many near misses is he going to have during filming? So
Red Hulk on his smash.
How old is Harrison Ford?
He's 80. Isn't
He's like
he?
80 years old or something, isn't he?
He's not 88. He's like 83, I think.
He's like Gangi's age.
He's too old.
So,
Too old. Way too old.
What is that hat you're wearing, son?
I don't know.
That's a beautiful hat.
It looks good.
we had the announcement's been made. The teaser happened at the end of Black Adam, but the announcement's officially made today. Henry Cavill's returning as Superman, and they're saying the Superman. God,
he appreciates you, Henry. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
They're saying that the Superman 2 announcement is imminent.
Which, not to be a bummer on that, because I love Henry Cavill, I love Superman, but he may be getting too old too. They should just, at this point, just recast a younger person that you can have for the next decade.
It's people are happy about it now, but as soon as it's out, they'll be.
Oh, people will bitch about it, of course. And go ahead and the other DC news, Brian, maybe.
Yeah, the other big DC news is they've finally announced who the Kevin Feige.
I'm sorry.
I don't know this is a train wreck with PMR tonight.
Well, between PMR's rambling like Harrison Ford and Alex's camera work like Harrison Ford, I mean, I'm getting kind of dizzy here. This is a bad time for you to join, Jonah.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a great one. This one may not make air. So yeah, they've announced who the Kevin Feige will be for the DC universe, and in fact, they've actually created its own division and appointed him co-CEO of DC Films. But James Gunn, and Peter Safran, are going to be co-heads of DC Film. And what's interesting is they're going to be heads of TV, film, and animation. So all the stuff that had been done
off the property, all right. Sorry.
Oh my God! Now he's like Harrison. Now he's yelling at
Alex,
kids for getting off the lawn.
Yeah, can you show him how to mute?
Yeah,
how to mute his phone.
I mean, I know you don't want to talk to your father. I get that, Alex. But at least show him how to work electronics.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work. He's a computer from the 80s. He doesn't function. He's Pong.
What were we talking about?
It's just, it's just Pong.
How's your coffee?
A quick diatribe here. I do recall back in our youth when if you can imagine Podman Ron as a young man, I remember him standing in my yard off to the side of the house, yelling at people that were walking or driving by. I'm Grandma Farty, and if you don't get off my lawn, I'm going to fart on you. I think they were back in the woods or something like that. And they were teenagers. You did that, yeah. You were a young preteen, I believe. That's one of the few memories I have of preteen life.
34.
Yeah, that was a few. Yeah.
He was
anyway, so
he was 34 years old.
Alex, you got to be happy about James Gunn being the quote unquote Kevin Feige, although. We should probably talk about the Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige's not even Kevin Feige anymore, so I don't know if that means anything.
Not recently.
Wait, so...
I mean, I think DC, no matter what, I don't really know the direction they want to take it. Literally, 2 months ago, they're like, we're restarting all of it. And now they're like, well, maybe not all of it. We're making Black Adam, and we're going to do this and that. And it's like, so are we restarting shit, or are we circling back to what we did before? I don't understand. I don't get it. But excited for James Gunn. That's a huge opportunity. He's really made a comeback, so I'm excited to see what he does. I just, I'm still hesitant.
All right. Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like James Gunn is going to be James Gunn and Peter Safran are going to be the co-heads of DC film, TV, and animation. The co-heads, so they're basically the Feige. I feel like it's
animation, right? I mean,
no, all of it: film, TV, and animation. Oh. So the Bruce Timm, legacy Bruce Timm, DC Warner Brothers Animation is going to be merged into DC film, TV, and animation. So, the question is that going to have an effect on the animated films that are coming out? Are we finally going to see that stuff that's been going on for 15 years? Is that going to finally kind of end and be more prominent and more with more oversight under one division? I feel like we're not getting they're not going to restart and this brings me to 2 weeks ago. Jeff Johns was at Coliseum of Comics down here. He was doing a signing.
This is another Brian. I had a brush with greatness story.
I had a brush with greatness.
Where's he at? Did you not get him on the podcast?
Yeah, I didn't get him on the podcast, but I did bend his ear. So I was talking to him, because it was weird. It was
poor man.
I know. I got there. There wasn't many people there yet. I guess it's because I got there at like 5 and people were still getting off work or whatever. But I got there at 5, and so I kind of had him captive. And we were just talking. I had a couple of things signed to send off to Greg.
In fact, he's still in the basement.
Yeah, he's. Hey, Jeff, say hello.
Save it for the podcast.
I mentioned to him, I was like, I appreciate, the fact that in your books you always bring in such deep cuts of the DC universe, and you find ways to integrate it and layer it, and even the stuff that wasn't great, you find like fresh angles to like loop it back in. And so we were talking about that, and we kind of got on a tangent. And I was like, and I told him this as well. Like I was in, because Jonah asked me, Pod-Boy Jonah asked me the other day, like, how can you keep track of this book that's been around for 40 years? Like, how do you read all this and know where to start and what storylines? And I told him, and like I kind of, like it came up when I was talking to Jeff Johns. It's like time dilation. Like if a story is popular and a story is good, then and the fans enjoy it, like it takes up more of the timeline and it becomes a focal point. And if something sucks, it's not like they don't say that it didn't happen. They just never reference it again. Okay. So like the good stuff takes up big swatches of the timeline and big swatches of the history. The stuff that was not well received or probably not well written, it just kind of brushed away. It's the same thing with, and he agreed. And he said, basically.
Did you say that's between that and missing all your baseball games?
Huh? Oh, to Jonah?
About, hey, Dad, how do you read so many comic books? I don't go to your baseball games. Shut up. You talk too much. Go ask your mother.
I wasn't there Saturday.
But yeah, so when I said it to Jeff, that was basically a conversation with Jeff Johns, and he was like, yeah, that's how
I got to make it to the con in time to talk to Jeff Johns. I ain't got time for you.
Shut up.
I got to get there before people get off work.
Wrestling's on. Shut up.
I'll see the next game.
We'll have a good time then, son.
You're gonna play again next year. We'll be fine. I got plenty of time. So yeah, but you're talking like kind of like when they redo a Batman, they always include Killing Joke.
Right. They always include Killing Joke,
the Bane
or No Man's Land. They'll have these they have these things that are canon for Batman. Even if they reboot him, it's still canon for Batman because it's these things that were popular and big moments in his history.
Right.
So and well liked, and so that was the kind of the conversation. He was like, he said that he explained it the same way, that it's kind of like time dilation when he's pitching stuff like about what counts, what doesn't, where's he gonna fit things in, but bringing it back to James Gunn and everything. I don't think we're going to get a reboot. We don't need a reboot. And I think James Gunn knows we don't need a reboot. Nobody wants to start this thing over again. Right? You've got a Superman.
Right.
You've got a Superman that people like. You've got a couple of Superman movies that could have been better. Right. Do you recast and start him over? No, just make a better movie and move forward.
I agree.
Right?
I totally agree.
And same thing with, figure out what you're doing with Batman and move forward. Figure out, if the Green Lantern show sticks, then great, move forward. So if this Flashpoint works well, then you can spin stuff out of that. But, don't make the Snyderverse not canon. Don't make, just move forward. Just move forward with the stories. Nobody wants to see a freaking origin story again. I do not want to see Superman's origin again. I do not want to see Batman's origin again. I don't just move forward. So I think that's what you're probably going to get is you're going to get better. I feel like you're going to get better creators, better. I think the whole thing with James Gunn was the reason he wants to do more with DC is because they gave him the ability to do what he wanted to do with Suicide Squad and then Peacemaker. So I feel like all that's going to do is give creators more freedom. And I think you're going to have some of the backlash because all these creators are talking about they hate working under the Marvel.
Everybody's mad at Marvel now, yeah.
Everybody's mad at Marvel because they can't. Why are you hiring me as a director if Feige's just going to direct the damn thing anyway? Why can't I pick my own writer? Why can't I take a risk with this property? And so Marvel's getting this backlash. I feel like DC is fixing to be like the counter with all this freedom for making these movies.
Well, so I think one of the things they could do, and it's kind of already done on the Flash TV show, but everybody's big into multiverses now. They like to see, know that the Michael Keaton Batman existed, and they like to know that the Christopher Reeve Superman might exist, or the Adam West Batman existed in this multiverse universe. They could actually do a good Crisis on Infinite Earth with all these universes and pull it together and make one big DCU, and that's how they go forward with everything. I mean, they could do that without Flashpoint. They could do that without Flash. They could do that. Or
they could just reference it in Flashpoint, and then they've untethered everything, and they can just do what the hell they want. And if they want to cross over, they can. If they don't want to cross over, they don't have to.
Right? Yeah. Honestly, I think that's the best way to go with it.
If they just propose the question in Flashpoint of other universes and tease other universes, and you get those kind of moments, and then they never have to go back to it again. But you validated, like you said, you validated Keaton Batman. You validated. The new Batman movies. You validated the Ben Affleck Batman movies. You validated the Adam West Batman movie.
Yeah,
right.
And basically
TV show.
that's what Marvel did with the Spider-Man. So I mean, they're just basically doing the same thing, or Marvel basically did the same thing what DC did.
If somebody wants to tackle it and the story dictates that they'll cross over, great. If not, everything counts. You haven't wasted your time, and just enjoy the next movie. So nobody has to fight about it's not the spot and it's not the Snyderverse, or it is the Snyderverse, or any of that shit.
Right.
So is James Gunn not going to do the Guardians of the Galaxy stuff anymore?
He's doing the third movie and the holiday special. But after that, James Gunn is basically done with Marvel.
We saw a trailer of the holiday special.
Yes, we did.
James Gunn. Everybody was saying that today was like James Gunn Day. I mean, he probably put a few bucks in the bank and married what's her face too on this top of it.
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, not Jennifer Connelly, but Jennifer Hollowell. What's her name?
Holloway.
Holloway. Yep.
Anyway, so good for James Gunn.
And then speaking of trailers, we got several. We got Creed 3.
Yeah.
We got Ant-Man Quantumania.
Hell yeah.
We got the aforementioned Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. And I feel like we got another one.
Out of all the three that you just named, we got Jesus Revolution. Boom.
Boom. Roasted.
Hey, Alex, we went to go see Halloween Ends.
Oh.
Well, we went to go see Halloween Ends. Tamara went to go see Ticket to Paradise. And she got to see your trailer at the beginning.
The trailer to Jesus Revolution is at the beginning of Ticket to Paradise.
Wow.
Yeah. Super exciting.
Very exciting.
February 2023.
So let's talk about the trailer. What's the name of the trailer, son?
The name of the trailer?
What's the name of the movie?
Name trailer.
I'm interested
Jesus
in the
Revolution,
movie.
The trailer.
Jesus Revolution, the trailer.
That's the name of the trailer.
All right.
It's just about Jesus Revolution is set in 1969, and it goes all the way to 1971, and it's about a time period in which the hippies kind of in NorCal traveling down to SoCal kind of discovered Jesus and kind of like dropped all the drugs and all that kind of stuff, and just started using God as, like, for lack of a better term, their drug, and like really like coming to terms with who they were, and like being very empathizing to all people, all sex, creeds, races, whatever, wherever you come from, they were your home, and they would take care of you. And it just takes place then, and about a young boy who who has an alcoholic mother who lives in a trailer, finding this group, and just the blossoming of love, of unconditional love.
The wackiness.
Well, you're not.
It
was pretty. The trailer looked really good. I actually.
Yeah, Tamara said the same thing when we got out of our theater and met up with her. She was like, "What's the name of that movie Alex is working on?" And I was like, "Jesus Revolution." She goes, "Yeah, that was the trailer was on there. It looked really, really good." So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I've seen it a total of 5 times, and I can say without a doubt it is a really good film. And I'm very, very excited for it to come out in February. February 23rd. Can't come soon enough.
All right, we'll have to do a special edition of the podcast for it.
Absolutely.
Help Kelsey Grammer out a little bit.
And now,
totally needs the help.
Creed 3, man. Creed 3 looked awesome.
All right, I got a harsh take. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry I have to do this to you, PMR, but this Creed 3 trailer, as fun as it looks, and as great as much as I love this franchise, it looks like it's going to suffer the same fate of the Rocky movies, on which each of these movies gets a little dumber every
well, that's probably
time.
true. That's probably true, but it doesn't mean it's less enjoyable. But yes, I agree with you on that.
What's wild is
by the time we get
Alex,
to Rocky 5, there's nothing positive left.
What's wild is the roller coaster you take with Rocky's IQ, because he's like dumb as a rock. He can't count to like 13 in the first movie, and then by the fourth movie, he's this well-spoken. He ends the Cold War with his speech, his eloquent speech at the end of Rocky 4. Back down to down on his luck, dumb as a box of hair, Rocky by the end of his trilogy.
Yeah. It's just one of these things where Creed 3 just looks really clean, and it's Michael B. Jordan's first time directing, which is fine. But I enjoyed the more grit of the last 2 movies, and this movie feels kind of clean and proper. Like, still has a lot of heart, I'm sure, because you can't have a Creed/Rocky movie without that kind of heart at the center. But it's like. It just feels kind of clean and more like safe punches instead of like the brutalness that this franchise has kind of offered up in its first 2 entries. Not to say I'm not excited, but I just think it looks a little half-assed.
Okay.
Well, this Jonathan Majors is basically playing Mr. T.
Right.
Yeah. This is basically Rocky 3, right?
Well, I mean, I like the story though. It makes a lot more sense. I mean, Jonathan Majors is playing a friend of Adonis Creed, who, in their younger years were, thugs together and
thugs together.
But unfortunately, they were not thugs for life.
No.
They were not thugs for life. But so he went to jail, and Adonis Creed, he blew up. He became famous boxer, and apparently Jonathan Majors was
it's like PMR is describing everything for us because we're too stupid to figure it out.
Can people just go watch the trailer? Like
I like the play-by-play.
I want PMR to explain the trailer to me because I didn't understand it.
I'm not explaining it to you. I'm explaining to the listener out there who may not.
Yeah, he's
watched the damn
the
trailer,
listener out there.
So, wait a minute.
I just want to know, is Jonathan Majors in that new Jesus movie? Because he's in everything else next year.
No, but I wish he was.
Yeah,
We need a little more Jonathan Majors in our life in general.
So the choice here is either the listener is too stupid to have understood the trailer,
or could give a shit less.
The listener would rather hear PMR explain it than go watch it.
I kind of like
That's
PMR
the assumption.
Or the listener is like, well, you know what? I don't want to go see Creed, but now they may want to go see Creed.
Yeah, thanks
PMR convinced them.
Thanks to understanding the trailer. What's the title of that trailer again? I forgot.
Creed 3.
Creed 3, the trailer.
That's it. That's why I need to. That's what I need to look up on the YouTube. Okay, I'll type it into the computer.
Creed 3, the trailer. The trailer.
Thugs from way back.
Official trailer 2023.
What I don't understand is that, like, with the Creed 3 movie, like, why would you make Creed 2 about him fighting Ivan Drago's son when Rocky 4 was like basically supposedly Rocky's biggest fight? But like, I feel like Rocky 3 should have been Creed 3 should have been Creed 2, because like why
that would have been a good thing. Yeah.
Wouldn't Ivan Drago's son be? Why wouldn't he be his biggest fight? Like, oh no, the big bad bully's coming back. Like,
because this
time it's personal.
This time it's personal.
No, because
they're taking it day by day.
But like, also,
did y'all not watch Creed 2?
He watched Creed 2. Jonah knows about Creed 2.
They were living in the shadows of their father, so that was the whole.
Yes,
point
but that should have been the end of the series. Like, if Creed 1.
Oh, what?
I don't understand that. That's illogical.
Look,
share your mouth.
But okay, never mind.
All right. So there is something I know. Did you guys notice in this trailer that when Jonathan Majors is coming down to the ring, they're holding
sexy?
Well, no, they're holding the belts behind him. They're holding the titles behind him.
Yeah.
So the assumption is
that too.
Yeah, he's gonna take. He'll beat Creed. The assumption is he'll beat Creed for the titles, and then Adonis has got that'll be the climax, is him winning it again.
Wow, that's crazy.
So
now you didn't explain that to me. PMR.
Never heard that one before.
PMR did not explain that to me. Thank you for picking that up, Brian.
Well,
you're welcome.
Now that Russia is our enemy again, I'm hoping that Creed 4 will fight another Russian.
That would be good. That would make sense.
You're right.
All right. What else do we have here? We've kind of went into trailer review here.
I know.
We have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right,
let's save Ant-Man for a minute. For a minute. A couple of more news bits. I found this interesting. Colin Farrell's Penguin series starts a week after Batman ends, and the city's still underwater. Yeah. So it's going to like an immediate follow-up to the Batman movie. We've got... I want to save that one for dead last. Hang on.
He's got a shocker.
There was one other thing I thought. Nope, it's just this. They are... there's a new reboot.
Uh-oh.
We're in the age of reboots.
Yes, let's hear it.
You guys know what film's being rebooted next?
I know Frasier's getting a reboot.
No, not a TV show. A film. A movie franchise by Paramount.
Oh. What is it?
It was a trilogy. It was a television show that went on to have 3 successful films.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
The Naked Gun is returning with Liam Neeson starring as assuming the role from Leslie Nielsen.
Right. Okay. All right.
So yeah.
We'll see. Who was it? I think read something like one of the Wayans, Damon Wayans, one of the Wayans, Marlon, had said you can't make comedies anymore, which we've even said on the podcast. Yeah. But white girls or white chicks, you can't make comedies like that anymore. So it'll be interesting to see if they are able to make the Naked Gun movies without a whole lot of kind of body or whatever humor. But,
right.
It'll suck.
It'll suck. All right.
We'll see.
All right.
It's like Austin Powers. We've talked about how Austin Powers. Try to watch an Austin Powers today, and it's just god awful. And it's like, God, were we all high back in the 90s when we thought that was funny?
Probably.
Well, I showed them probably about 2 years ago. I had them watch The Naked Gun, the first one, and it held up better than Austin Powers for sure.
Yeah.
So, but
all right, well, that'll be good. All right. So, Ant-Man Wasp Quantumania trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody want to start breaking that one down?
I wasn't really impressed with it.
Ooh.
I was not. It looked very confusing and just kind of dull. There was nothing really like, oh, that's cool. I mean, it just looked really dull.
Okay, well, I think what you missed was Scott Lang and Kang went to high school together, but Kang got arrested and sent to prison, while Scott only went to juvie.
So
That
Scott,
would have been a much better story.
Scott became the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That would have been a much better story.
I thought it was okay. Again, I think it was listed. I think it was titled the teaser. It felt like a full-on trailer. Am I wrong that it was supposed to be a teaser?
Yeah, this is it. To be clear, the title of this trailer was Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania teaser trailer. Just to really clarify.
Right. Thank you, Alex.
Teaser trailer.
But it was a full-blown trailer.
But colon,
I think it could have been.
colon.
I think
There's a colon.
it could have been called
It's
the trailer. Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Quantumania colon
The teaser.
colon trailer.
Trailer.
Alex, you being a
Colon
longtime
2023.
Avenger fan, how do you feel
Yeah.
about Blueface King?
Listen. I'm a big fan of the first Ant-Man. I'm pretty indifferent towards the second Ant-Man. And you know what? I love Paul Rudd, and I love Jonathan Majors, and I love Michael Douglas, and I love Michelle Pfeiffer. So do I really,
Just can't
really...
stand that bitch that plays Wasp.
Evangeline Lilly.
And Evangeline Lilly
That
is
bitch.
utterly
Wasp.
fine. She's fine. But you know what? I'm still excited. I think Kang looks super cool. I'm excited. He's got like cool scars on his face that give him like those lines that he always has in the comic
That's
books.
pretty neat.
I think that's dope. I'm really impressed that they decided to go really comics accurate with him. I think that looks pretty cool. I think there's some sneaky stuff in this trailer that kind of hints at what we're gearing at for Kang Dynasty. You know, there's some cool stuff going on here, and I think this is going to be a really important movie. And it looks fun. It looks kind of trippy and fun and silly and goofy, and probably the most Ant-Man of the Ant-Man movies we've had. So you know what? I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
And I'm excited. I like Ant-Man.
PMR did, his first complaint was, it's not Kang, because
It
he
doesn't
didn't
even
look
look
closely
like
enough
him.
at the trailer.
Yeah.
It didn't look
Doesn't even
like
look like him. It looked exactly like him. The green tunic, the helmet, the blue
purple and
face,
green,
it was comics.
Floating on a big old disc.
The best part was when you texted that, Brian. You texted, I think you texted the video and then the poster, and then later on, PMR said, "Is the trailer out?" or something like that. Are you, is there a trailer? It's like, yeah, that was the first thing you sent was the trailer.
Oh, was it? I just thought it was the poster.
And then it was, why doesn't he look like King? And then you followed it right up with that
Ant-Man,
screenshot.
the trailer.
Yeah.
Just like Kang.
We'll
I'm
see.
pretty excited.
Jonah, anything? Does it do anything for you, Jonah?
I don't know. I feel like they might find a way to screw it up. I feel like there's gonna be something that ends up.
You
Leave
are
it to
your
Marvel.
father's son. You are your.
They're
That's not what I was going to say.
Wait till we talk about She-Hulk.
No. I'm on board. I feel like there's two things that you suss out of this. Like it's very obvious. King says, if you'll help me, I'll give you more time, right? And so basically, he's going to tell Scott that he's dying, that he's going to die. Scott knows that he's going to die, and Scott has to choose to still be the hero, right? So we're getting I don't think it's Scott's getting paralyzed. I think Scott is going to be off the board, doesn't get to see Cassie grow up. That's one.
The way.
Two.
Fucker. Sorry.
Two, I feel like there's no way we're not getting analysts in this before it's all said and done. At least a tease of analysts.
I don't even know
Alex?
who Analyst is.
Annihilus?
Annihilus. I'm sorry, Annihilus.
The Analyst. Are you sure
I know,
you want to do this? Are you sure you want to?
I just got disconnected.
It's pronounced analrapist.
Oh, an Analyst.
It's not the pronunciation that bothers me.
Annihilus?
And then, so maybe do we get any glimpses of Fantastic Four as well if we get Analyst in here?
Well, if you're a keen-eyed viewer like I am, in
And
the trailer,
PMR,
there are these so we see these big old rings and they have like the same sort of like ancient like languages and stuff inscribed on them.
Yeah.
But they're huge. But it's like, oh wait, we're in the quantum realm. Could that be a tie to Shang-Chi and Miss Marvel? Because those characters also have. We already know that Shang-Chi's bracelets and Kamala Khan's bracelets have some sort of connection. Is that, and that's into Shang-Chi, they're like, oh, it sent out a signal, blah, blah, blah. Is that signal from the quantum realm? And is Kang like, I think Kang wants Scott to go and get the rings and the bangle. And I'm like, that seems pretty, like, God, that seems pretty clear to me, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think so.
I didn't watch it that closely.
This is gonna have some big implications. I'm feeling, but maybe not. I don't know.
Wait. Shang-Chi would be a big implication?
No, Ant-Man appearing in Shang-Chi would be a big help for either one of those properties.
I like Shang-Chi.
Oh my God!
So I don't think it'd be a big help for Ant-Man.
No.
That's a downgrade.
I'll take that.
At least Shang-Chi's better than Black Adam. That's all I'll say.
Ouch. Are we going to talk about? I mean, we're all over the place now.
We are.
We probably don't even have time to talk about the passing of Leslie Jordan, but are we going to talk about She-Hulk?
What about Robbie Coltrane?
Oh yeah, Robbie Coltrane.
Hagrid.
What about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? All right, we're gone. Never mind. Fuck you, James Gunn.
We did enough with James Gunn.
You're done.
Well, that was also announcing the death of the Guardians of the Galaxy after watching that trailer. But anyway, zing. PMR, you're the biggest Harry Potter fan of us all, I think, right? Fair to say.
I am absolutely, yes, fair to say.
So you're
the biggest pothead.
You are the big pothead of the group. So you were sad to hear the passing of whatever that guy.
Yeah. Hagrid's like the mainstay. I mean, other than here, other than the big three, Hagrid would probably be.
Other than the big three, and Dumbledore and Voldemort and Snape.
Well, even Dumbledore got switched out, right?
Yeah, no one cared about the first Dumbledore.
No.
He can barely stand up in the second movie, but.
Ouch.
But yeah, Hagrid. And he died. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad.
God.
I mean,
all right. Well, that was good.
That's my memorial. I mean,
he died.
Yeah.
Well, what was the other guy that we got from F Troop that we gave
Larry
Storage to?
Larry Storage had a whole segment. Yeah.
That was a long career, man.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks later, PMR wanted to rememorialize him because he forgot that we had memorialized him the week before.
Right. Are we going to talk about Larry Storage's passing?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Haggard, him passing, it was sad. I mean, it was very sad.
Okay, well, there you go. I also love PMR's reaction to when Brian posts other people's passing, like Leslie Jordan, who has been a bit player on a lot of different things. He's one of the greatest queer icons of all time, as far as I'm concerned, next to Paul Lynde. But anyways, Brian posts that, and PMR's reaction is, I don't know him. I don't know him. I do not care about him.
I don't mean I don't care about him. I just don't know who he was.
I don't know him.
Welcome to my world.
He was a recurring character. Like probably his biggest break, was he was on Murphy Brown a ton. Like he was a recurring character on Murphy Brown.
He was in a lot of
like
stuff,
for the whole, But
yeah, I don't know. Anyway, all right. So what?
Can we?
I want to get in a building or something. Didn't he have a car wreck?
He had a car wreck, but they don't know if he had a heart attack and then a wreck or
a wreck
just in the building. Yeah. Now there is something I want to get PMR's thoughts on this, and Alex, you too. You can chime in. Speaking of Hagrid, I sent this out, and PMR was having none of it. None of it.
What?
There's a fan theory that Hagrid was a Death Eater.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
No. Yeah.
Can I be honest with you, Brian? Can I be honest?
Yes.
I don't care.
Please.
I don't know him.
All right. Well,
Hagrid was not
So-
a Death Eater. I mean,
I don't know.
When
what,
you-
I don't even know what
I
a
don't
Death
know.
Eater was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He was a servant of Voldemort. He was a servant of Voldemort.
Oh, all
All
right.
right. Well,
Sure.
so just so so there's some of this out there, and in case readers want to go check this, or readers, or the listener wants to go check this out. There's a lot of evidence. Like, for instance, Hagrid is casting very advanced spells.
what he
that
grew,
he should-
he grew a pig's tail on some kid. That's not a.
It's transfiguration, though. Transfiguration's very advanced, and he was forbidden from using magic after he only made it to his third year. And transfiguration is very
Just shows
difficult.
that he was smarter than everybody thought he was. He wasn't a big old dum dum like everybody.
He
Thought.
And
was
he
a
can
Death
cast
Eater.
spells. He can cast spells without having to say the spell audibly. That's another big thing in the Harry Potter universe. That like only a very powerful wizard can cast a spell without audibly, speaking the spell.
Well, just because he was powerful, that doesn't mean he was evil. Huh?
Well, and then there's all the times he put Harry right in the mid, like right on a collision
Right in the middle
course with Voldemort, right?
So did
Like-
fucking Dumbledore. Dumbledore did that all the time.
He was a Death
Huh?
Eater too.
Yeah.
So
They're all Death Eaters.
All right, you're not going to convince
There's,
him.
but yeah, I'm not going to convince him. Anyway, but I'll post the article.
I'll
On our
post the
Facebook
article,
page.
and I'll look at it.
And then you can read it to me.
And I will.
I sent you the article like a week and a half ago.
Send it again.
Send it again.
So you confidently said,
I
there's
read the
nothing to
headline,
this.
went,
I
"There's
refuse
no
to
way."
read it.
No, I said, there's just no way. What are you
What is-
doing, Alex?
What are you doing?
Entertaining himself. Because the podcast has hit a lull. All right, hey, should we go to the movies or TV first? What do you want to
Finish
go
with our
to?
memorial? Did we?
I think we're done with
everybody that died?
I think we're done with the memorials.
Loretta Lynn.
Oh yeah, Loretta Lynn, great. That's sad,
that's cool.
sad,
Oh,
sad
yeah.
life. I did the Loretta Lynn connection that I have is during our Halloween movie marathons. We did watch the original Carrie with Sissy Spacek, who kind of got famous because of Loretta Lynn. So I got that going for me.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
We one of the first movies I ever saw in the theaters was Coal Miner's Daughter.
Oh wow!
Same, yeah, same here.
Don't know why.
That's where I learned the word horny was what it meant.
Wow! How about that?
Fun facts, no tell.
Oh wow! So we owe a lot to the late great Loretta Lynn.
Thank you, Loretta Lynn.
Thank you, Loretta Lynn.
Teaching me the word horny.
Oh, it's synonymous. Loretta Lynn and horniness.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Yes,
No.
absolutely. All right, off to the movies.
Yes.
All right, I know, Alex, you're ready to talk about Black Adam. We do have Halloween movies to talk about. I can rattle off all the horror movies we've been watching. But let's. I know Alex is probably just really only is attending to talk about Black Adam. So Alex, let's turn it over to you for your Black Adam review, a movie that you've invested 4 hours in, or whatever it is, 4 or 5 hours, right?
Yeah, I did. I went and saw it Thursday opening night. I had a friend buy me a ticket, so I went, and then I had another group of friends that wanted to go, and I decided I'd tag along with them on the second time to see
Right.
if I'd like it anymore.
Yeah.
And in consensus, I did not like it
Ouch.
anymore.
Oh no.
I think this movie's what I like to call a big old turd. It's pretty bad, and I try. I'm good at turning my brain off for things, but I don't know what this movie instilled in me. But from like the first 20 minutes, I just was so irritated and so just out of it. Like I could not be bothered, and I thought maybe I was tired. And then I saw it yesterday. I wasn't tired. It's just a bad movie from start to finish. I had
So
some
it's
fun with the action, but other than that, just a dull.
It's a standard DCU film, right?
Yeah, like I said, like I've been telling everyone, the hierarchy of the DC universe may have changed, but the quality did not.
Wow.
Well,
So is this Walter
there was no
Hamada's-
nighttime fight scenes.
There was no nighttime fight scenes.
Oh, wow.
But
Progress.
as progress goes, it's still set in the Middle East. Everything has to be a certain tone of yellow the entire time. You can't have any vibrancy when you're filming in the Middle East. It's just yellow. And just have like a woman just go, hi, yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And that's
a
it.
little racist, son.
Oof.
Well, maybe the
Where do you think he gets it from?
I calls it like I sees it. So you're
I
saying
calls it like I sees it.
So you're saying that despite Podman Ron's waning affection perhaps, toward The Rock did not save this movie. He did not help himself at all. That's what you're saying.
No, I mean, I think he created a dumb action movie with little heart, zero subtext, and just kind of nonsensical plot. That's just like, okay, I guess we're doing this, but none of it feels necessary. It just feels like it's just spectacle for the sake of, and it's just really boring, or just way too chaotic and stupid. And that's the only two things you're getting.
Well, Alex, I'm afraid you may be as jaded as the rest of the old men here. Jonah, I'd like to get a young person's opinion of this movie. Assuming you saw it.
I did see it. I thought it was okay. I thought the kid was extremely obnoxious.
As most children are.
I thought the actor for Dr. Fate was pretty good.
Hot meat kettle. Continue, Jonah.
Exactly. Yeah, the actor who played Dr. Fate. I have no idea who it is. Some bit role. Some bit role.
James Bond, man. James Bond of the 90s.
Yeah, but still. All right, so you love Dr. Fate?
I don't really know what else to say. Like,
that's okay.
There's nothing else.
That's
pretty much
that's basically my review.
Tell me. Hold on, Jonah. Let me help you out here. So, The Rock. This is The Rock's first superhero movie, and Lord knows we've got a fantastic record of wrestlers and athletes turned superheroes, right? I mean, still, Shaq, anybody? Right. So, tell me more about The Rock himself. Did you like him? Did you find the character appealing, or was it dead to begin with?
I liked it, but there were some parts where it would just be kind of like weird because like somebody would say something, he would just stare at them for like 5 seconds, and then he would just go like kill somebody, and then just it was really weird. It was like dialogue, then he would just like blankly stare at somebody, say like 2 words, and then go fight crime.
Wow.
Or murder.
Or murder somebody. Like
just lots of murder.
The problem with the movie is
it's bad.
Well, it's they wanted to make every time they're like, well, this doesn't make sense. They or this is starting to drag. They just threw another fight scene in. Fight scene. And honestly, there's a huge misstep in the kid they cast. Like, the kid is awful.
He's so bad.
And they wanted the kid. They brought the kid in so that the kid could be the light in juxtaposition to the Black Adam being so dark, right? But then you also get the fact where you get to see Black Adam's not all bad. Like, he likes this kid, that sort of thing.
That's kind of creepy.
So, yeah. So the kid is awful. Like, awful.
I will say that in no trailer have I seen the kid, and then the first thing Alex said when he saw the movie is the kid was awful, and I was like, "What kid?"
What are you talking
The first thing
about?
that Brian said when he saw the movie was the kid was awful. So
he's so bad.
So it's like
they hit the kid on purpose. So
they had this formula they wanted to have, like the Billy Batson sort of thing. Like they wanted to almost have Freddie Freeman for him, right? And it was awful. And the problem is, if they're not fighting, that kid is front and center.
Oh, really?
So it's either fight. It goes from fight to this pain in the ass kid to a fight, and the fights happen so frequently. I mean, I think he fought Hawkman 5 different times.
Yeah.
And it was almost like that joke, the old Family Guy joke with Peter and the chicken, where they just kept fighting.
Black
it was
Adam
almost like
and
that. It was like Hawkman and Black Adam would they cool down and then suddenly boom, they're fighting again. And it was like Jesus Christ. So I liked the guy that played Hawkman. I like Aldisage. I really liked Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's Dr. Fate was the best part of the film.
Yeah, it's the best scene.
And honestly, like all the stuff they did with the Justice Society, Atom Smasher was a goof. Okay,
but it was awful. It was so bad.
When he's, he looked good when he was powered up, right? I liked the way they showed Cyclone's powers.
Yeah.
Like, so there's
besides
good
trauma dump. Just trauma dumps on Atom Smasher.
Yeah. Well, it was like, oh, these are this is my whole character arc. I got to get this out in the next 46 seconds, So, so you've got all that. The Al Rothstein, you get to see Golden Age Adam, Atom Smasher's uncle, which is a cameo.
It's the Fonz.
The Fonz is Golden Age Adam.
That's going to make you happy, Podman Ron.
It's so funny.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. So, it's the problem is you go from these fight scenes that are just like over the top to this kid, back to the fight scene, back to the kid, and it's like, oh my God, it's too much.
Yeah.
With a heavy dose of exposition. If it's not the kid talking, it's all exposition. It's just like, here's the information you need to know right now. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it.
And so here's the thing, though. Like, if this gets us the Justice Society, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
If this gets us deeper into that portion of the DC universe, fine. I hope they treat this as a spinoff, and The Rock has nothing to do with the Justice Society going forward. Again. Okay?
Never.
But, and I want to see if Alex got this take, and this is a spoiler.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Fate dies before the end of the movie.
He does.
And
yeah, man.
Alex, I felt like the whole time they were forecasting that the kid's going to be the new Dr. Fate.
Yeah, they were. I felt it too, because that's kind of like the new Dr. Fate in the comic books. He's like a young Middle Eastern kid, and so that just kind of tracks. But it's just, I don't want it. I don't want another one. I don't.
I mean, this was the last regime's movie, right? And now we just talked about this new regime coming into DC Films, so maybe James Gunn will be like, I hear you, Rock, but no thanks.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't mind. I just feel like I don't mind the casting. I don't even necessarily mind I don't necessarily mind the plot the movie's going for. I don't mind it, but it's so half-baked. The dialogue is terrible. It is so painful to listen to them talk. It hurts. And then it's just like everything else is just this like the visual effects look great. And honestly, despite everything being drowned in yellow, there's actual cinematography here. And it's like there's texture and there's nice shots. And Dr. Fate has a great scene in Hawkman's jet. That's the best scene in the movie where he's talking about like the first time he saw a plane. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful scene. And it's like, where were you for the rest of this? Where can you do something? Like I don't need action. I don't need Dwayne Johnson murdering people. Sure, sometimes it looks cool, but it's like it's so painful. And there's this fucking catchphrase tell them the Man in Black sent you. That literally made me want to die. I wanted to die.
I don't know what you're talking about. This movie sounds amazing.
Yeah, you were selling it to PMR. PMR, you haven't seen this yet,
so
correct?
bad.
Shit, man. No, I hadn't seen it.
Oh, okay.
I will tell you this. I in the amount of time we got with Dr. Fate, I'll take that Dr. Fate over Doctor Strange any day of the week.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Listen, I can have more fun. I can have more fun watching this movie, with a couple drinks down, than I will ever have watching Doctor Strange 2. Wow. That's like, I can actually there's some things I can tolerate, especially when it hits on HBO Max, and I can skip past everything I don't like, which is 75% of the movie. So it's like, yeah, there's fun here, but man, the bad is just so bad. Atom Smasher's so bad. I can't get it out of my head. It's so bad.
Well, then that's the thing, is I feel like if you drill it down to just the Justice Society stuff and the important pieces of Black Adam, you could have made this a 45-minute movie.
Yeah.
Hit all the marks, left out the kid entirely, and you've got a good 45 minutes in this film.
Yeah.
The problem is it's 2 hours.
It's long.
Yeah. It's Hawkman I thought was great. Dr. Fate I thought was great.
That's pretty much it.
There's times where Black Adam was fine.
Yeah.
It's the rest, and they spent so much time telegraphing that twist that nobody gave a shit about. I mean, I guess it was interesting that's that's why he wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
Right. But it's
just poor.
It sets up the fact that he's the ruler of Kandahak, right? So there's kind of like that Doctor Doom sort of thing going on a little bit. And honestly, the fact that nobody wanted Henry Cavill back as Superman, and basically Dwayne Johnson forced it. That's why we're getting Henry Cavill back, is because The Rock forced DC's hand. So
I honestly think that's why the DC guy left. I think that The Rock went around him and got Henry Cavill back, and that guy got pissed and quit.
Walter Hamada.
Listen, I think I have a real fix for this movie. And hear me out. This is my fix. I love seeing the Justice Society. It was super cool. Would have loved to just have them in their own solo movie. So let's just say, in a different world, we pluck the Justice Society out and they get their own movie, and it's super awesome. World War II's epic. That would have been cool. Instead, in this movie,
son of a bitch. That was my pitch that everybody shit on.
Maybe instead what we do is we just make it Black Adam versus Shazam, for fuck's sake. I don't understand Dwayne Johnson's adamancy behind not doing Shazam, not having that battle. That's the thing. That's the comic. That's what
because
people
Shazam
want to
is.
see.
I'll tell you why. Because Shazam's bigger than Black Adam, and he don't want to share that. He wants to be the big person in the movie.
But guess what? He's The Rock. He could still have this creative control where they split. He's still top billing, and it's still a Black Adam movie that's just it's Shazam and Black Adam, and maybe they team up at the end to fight Sabak like they do in the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be down with that, because
that's what it is.
When there's this animated movie like Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman. It's really good, and it's Black Adam coming to fight Shazam because he's awoken and he realized that the wizards have given someone else the power, and he's being sidelined. I would have loved to see that. Give me that movie. Please give me that movie.
Well, and it's just a short. It's a short. It's only a 20-minute short. But to your point,
better.
To your point, Alex, what they should do is, if you want to give Rock Superman, okay, he can have Superman in Black Adam 3.
What?
Or Black Adam 2, and say Shazam 3 is going to be Black Adam and Shazam. He fights Shazam, you get that out of the way, and then you bring in Superman, and that's the crescendo. But if you make Black Adam fight Superman and then he fights Shazam,
It feels like a downgrade.
It feels like a downgrade.
Doesn't make any sense. Like it's just.
No, I honestly think they'll do. It's Shazam 2. They're going to have a Black Adam cameo at the end.
Maybe, but it's just one of these things where it's like, I don't think anyone was asking for Black Adam to become the center of the DC universe because he never has been and he still never will be. It doesn't work. This character doesn't work as the linchpin of all of this. It doesn't work. It feels really forced. And also, so now the Justice Society and Superman worked for Amanda Waller. What the hell, man? That's just such a betrayal to anything about those characters and anything they stand for. It's super loosey-goosey. It's not a piece. I don't understand why fans are so like in awe about and adamant about standing up for this movie when even the comic stuff that it supposedly gets right, it doesn't. There's nothing here. There's nothing besides two good performances of characters I'd like to see again and a whole bunch of other shit.
I feel like
I hate it.
I'm inferring things into that last scene, like to make things connect, even though they didn't go out of the way to say they connected. So you see the Waller cameo, and I don't think she sent Superman. I think Superman is going there to feel out Black Adam because he's a threat, to kind of see where he actually falls. If he is a threat. Is he not a threat? Is he contained? What's his true motivations? And I feel like Waller's trying to take credit for it. She's just trying to big time the situation, but she's not the reason Superman's there. She knew he was coming because she has him under surveillance, but there are two independent things happening. So
and maybe that's the case, but it's like even then you have to infer that just for your head as a comic book fan, because I guarantee you that was not what Dwayne Johnson was thinking. That's not what any of this team was thinking. They were just thinking all right, Superman works for Amanda Waller. Everyone agree? That makes sense, right? But it doesn't. It is so intrinsically false about who these characters are, and it just makes me so pissed off. It just makes me so mad. Because I want Superman back, and I want Superman to be back in a way that makes sense. I want Superman to have a Top Gun Maverick-style movie, not fight Black Adam. That's not what I want. I don't give a shit. But it's whatever. I'm done ranting about it. I'm being upset.
Let's. I'm not sure if you've dissuaded PMR from seeing this quite yet, but Alex, what do you give this Black Adam character? Black Adam : the movie.
A 1. A 1.
Wow.
And a binary? A binary of...
A 0. A binary... I mean, here's the thing.
A movie you've seen twice, you're recommending no one sees again.
A binary of 1.
You are so you can go...
Man. And maybe you go have fun with it. Maybe you have the ability to turn your brain off more than I can. And I turn it off.
PMR can do it.
But it's just
How many times has he watched Cobra Kai?
Hey, I got some
and he still has theories of it. All right, Brian, ratings here?
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay. You don't need to explain yourself.
I feel like I'm happy that we got a Justice. I'm taking the PMR route on this one. I'm happy we got Justice Society characters. This. It is not a perfect movie. It's not. But at the same time, I feel like we've made progress on some characters that would not have been in a film otherwise.
Okay,
that's a positive outlook.
I love it.
That's one way to look at it.
Jonah.
I'd probably give it a 2 out of 5.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
I mean,
wow,
it wasn't. I don't think it was as bad as Alex was saying it was. I mean,
ain't as good as what Brian is.
What? Now hold on. Hang on. PMR, do you want to explain the ratings to Jonah before we go any further? No, please.
No.
No, I think he needs to hear, because I don't think he understands a 2 versus a 3. Go ahead.
Okay, well, a 5 is you will see it multiple times. You will
like Alex has done.
Watch it. Yeah, well, I mean, all the time. You'll watch it at least once or so a year. You love it that much.
No, that won't be happening.
4 is basically you'll go see it one more time. You liked it enough. I'll see it again. 3 is average. You liked it, but not enough to go see it again. 2, you didn't like it, but you wouldn't tell anybody not to go see it. You tell, you can have your own opinion. Go see it and see what you think. But it really wasn't for me. And 1, you hate it, and you tell everybody else, don't go see this movie. There's your rating system.
So yeah, I guess it would probably be a 3 then, because this is just one of those movies that I would see once and I'm never gonna see it again. Like just like Eternals and Shang-Chi, like I watched it once and I'm not gonna watch it again.
Okay, fair enough.
To be fair,
he wouldn't recommend it to nobody.
I've seen it twice.
So technically, Alex is a 4.
It's a 4, baby. Let's go.
All right.
I have
Brad?
an AMC A-list subscription. I just was using it.
All right. Well, I will watch it when it comes on Max, I'm sure. I'll give it a shot.
No.
Which will probably be, next week or something?
They may fast track it. The Rock.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go. We got Halloween movies to talk about.
Oh, God.
Yes, we do.
I watched.
And we got the movie Smile also. So,
Wow. Well, we've got at least another 2 hours worth of horror movies to talk about, Alex.
I can talk about Halloween Ends too. I saw.
Yeah, we can talk about Halloween Ends and
Oh.
touch on the other ones.
Can we start doing an intermission in the episode, like the old school movies, like Oliver Twist and all?
Yeah,
Let's
just have
go
some
up
music
the
playing.
lobby. Let's
Yeah.
go up the
That's a
lobby.
There you go.
All right. Well, Halloween Ends. This is the last part of the new trilogy. I don't know how they're capped, but
Based off the first movie.
based off the first movie. So the first Halloween movie happened, and then these last 3 movies happened.
Halloween 2018, 2020, 2022.
2020,
Yeah.
2022. So this is the end of the Michael Myers story, supposedly. Maybe something continues or whatever.
Right.
And it's been a little divisive amongst fans that people were a little sad that this being the last movie did not have a whole lot of Laurie Strode or Michael Myers in it.
Well, I don't think it's even divisive. People hate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see how.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that bad. I
Listen, I think we can end this pretty quickly. It's a steaming pile of dog shit.
Wow.
Yeah, of the 2 films I saw this weekend, Black Adam was head and shoulders the winner.
I will say this. Now, I sat down and watched all the Halloween movies, and it was the first Halloween. It was, it was as campy as it was back then. I don't see what was so scary about it. But I guess for 1978, it was terrifying. I watched the new Jamie Lee Curtis one from 2018, and I thought that was pretty good. And then the 2021 one, Halloween Kills, I watched it, and I really liked it because it brought back some of the characters from that first one, from the 1978 one. It brought back
Tommy.
those characters from it, and I actually really liked it. What is that noise? Good Lord!
It's his loom. He's weaving.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? Are you washing clothes or something? It sounds like a washing machine. So I really liked Halloween Kills, and it was a continuation of that same night from the Halloween. It was but this Halloween Ends, man. It takes over 4 years later, and it has really nothing much to do with Michael Myers, and all about this new character, and I still don't know what that sound is. Good Lord.
I don't. What sound do you hear?
It sounds like somebody's on an elliptical
Yeah.
or a treadmill.
I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, that's really weird. Is that better?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, it's totally not with Michael Myers. He's in it, but he's like in the sewer, and he like
Just hanging out.
Yeah, he mentors this guy to become a killer or something. It makes no goddamn sense.
Well, let's back up though. Michael doesn't show up for like 40 minutes, right? And even the cold open and the opening kill isn't Michael. Like, it's this kid, and the kid, he's babysitting somebody the year after, the Halloween after,
2019.
He accidentally does something, and the kid that he's babysitting gets killed, right? And so then you follow this kid who is head and shoulders taller than the kid that's bullying him, and keeps getting his ass handed to him constantly, right?
Well, he's not even a kid by this time.
Right.
It's 4 years later.
He's like 30.
He's like 22 years old. I mean,
yeah, and these high school kids are bullying him. They're they're high school kids that are in the band.
Well,
They are seen in band costume or band outfits.
One of the
Band
reviews I
kids.
read on it said it was the most diverse group of kids that hung around together.
Oh,
They had,
completely, yeah.
it was like none of these poor kids would have ever hung around together. I mean,
But it would be the equivalent of Alex getting bullied by high school
Jonah.
band members that didn't go to school with him.
right?
It's bizarre.
It's
bizarre.
Really weird, man.
And then Lori gloms onto him and sets him. Clearly, this kid is troubled, and she gloms onto him and sets him up with her granddaughter,
Which
and
is
they
weird.
start dating, right?
Right.
And then suddenly Lori's like, "No, he's bad for you." Well, you're the one that introduced him. I think the thing that completely lost me, like, it was bad enough we're waiting this time for Michael. We're all this time is getting spent on Corey Cunningham, all this nonsense. And then when Corey decides he's going to pick up Michael's mantle, he goes to the sewer where Michael's been hanging out for 4 years and gets into a slap fight with Michael over the mask
And wins.
and wins.
Stupid, man.
This kid that's been bullied by like a 4'8", 110-pound band geek for the first 40 minutes of the movie. Now he's in the sewer beating up Michael Myers.
Oh God.
He takes the mask and then goes on a killing spree.
I have no idea what they were thinking with introducing this new character when you still have Michael Myers out there, who escaped his last killing spree, even murdered Lori's daughter in the end of Halloween Kills. You still had that, so I don't get that. I have no idea why they were doing that.
Then you've also got this whole thing where Mike, they said they made very a big point about the fact that Michael wasn't after Lori. Michael was trying to get home. Michael was going home. It's not about Lori. Sartain, the only reason Michael and Lori intersected again in the 2018 movie is because Sartain took him to Lori's house, right? Well, in this movie, as soon as Michael decides to leave the sewer, where does he go? Lori's house.
Yeah.
And starts stalking Lori. He never had before. They went out of their way to explain that he didn't care about Lori until now he does.
Well, he didn't care about Lori. All he wanted to do is go back to his house. And they made it clear that they destroyed his house. They bulldozed it down at the beginning of this movie. So that's why he was hanging out in the sewer, I guess. I mean, God,
Where else has he got to go? Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. I mean, and like Brian said, they made it abundantly clear. No, he never was after Lori. That was not the thing. But that's the first place he goes to is our house. God, it was so terrible. I mean, I just don't understand their decision with this. It's the end of a trilogy that has been halfway decent, in my opinion, and they just blow it. I mean, just totally shit the bed with it.
And then you've got this whole thing of they spent all this time on Corey Cunningham, and then they just kill him. So if they were wanting him to be the new Michael Myers, well, why did they just? I mean, he got punked out and killed. Jason finally killed him at the end, and it's like, well, he's dead. So like now Michael Myers is dead.
Well, and even when they used him, it was like, okay, if you're going to use this terrible, shitty character, you could at least make it like, okay, is this Michael or is this Corey guy? We'll let him wear the Michael Myers mask, and you really don't know who's who. But no, he would just walk around with the mask in his hand. I mean, it was like, this is really fucking stupid. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever why they even did this.
I concur.
See, I thought it was nice building up the Corey character as, oh, okay, well, they're gonna get rid of Michael Myers and he's gonna be the new killer, and then they kill him. I thought I enjoyed that part of it. They pulled a twist on you.
If they would have built it up, like if he was in the last movie, like The Last Survivor, and we saw him in the last movie, and there was a reason other than he accidentally killed a fucking kid, and they want to pass on the mantle to a younger Michael Myers. All right, I could have went with that, and have more Michael Myers, have more of him and Laurie coming to a final ending. But I mean, other than the 10-minute battle between Laurie and Michael at the very end, this movie was just god awful. I mean, I was so bored during it. I mean,
I enjoyed it.
What about the scene like where Michael finally shows up and Laurie has a fight with him, but like in this movie, Michael actually acts his age, like he's 62, like he's stumbling around.
Right,
he dies
is.
in like he's completely destroyed in like 2 minutes. Oh god, so bad. And then the entire city just marching to the junkyard, and it was so annoying, so unbelievably annoying when they said the evil dies tonight. Oh my gosh, it was so stupid.
I agree with all. I mean, it was completely stupid, but I found it entertaining. I enjoyed it.
I couldn't even find it entertaining, to be honest with you. I could not even. I was so bored during it. Because usually in the Halloween movies, I mean, you're going to get a few jump scares, but you didn't even get a few jump scares. It was just like, oh, man, this is lame.
Alex, what do you call it? The promise of the premise?
The promise of the premise.
The premise is we're getting the final battle of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. They've been on this collision course for 40 plus years. And they cram in all of this nonsense with this ancillary character that nobody cares about, and his they're cramming so much in for him, and there's so many leaps that they're trying to build. It's like, why the hell did we didn't need him at all? There was no reason for him. This is a simple premise. All you got to do.
Uh-oh, and I think we lost some people here. Maybe Brian was attacked by Michael Myers. We'll wait and see if he pops back in here. Since I've got the floor to myself for some reason or another. Oh my God! I was just telling the listeners, now that I had the floor to myself, I was just going to go on a big review of it, but you guys all dropped out for some reason. But you're all back.
Yeah,
so.
Well, Brian's not back yet on mine.
Well,
back on yours?
I'm back.
His video's not back, but his audio is. All right. Continue, Brian.
But yeah, it's all they had to do. All they had to do was line up some cool kills.
No, Brian.
Oh, okay. Well, evidently they can't hear you. Can you hear me, Podman Ron?
Yeah, I can hear you and Alex.
All right. I can hear all three of you except for Alex, who's not talking.
Hi.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
We need to.
Ooh, I got a foot cramp.
Who's the odd man out? Alex, can you hear me?
No.
Drink pickle juice.
No.
Drink pickle juice is what we've kind of come to now. You need to drink more water at least.
Right here, Brad, for just a minute.
Brian, why don't you drop out and come back to us if you're able to, because I know Alex is going through some painful moments here, as if he was watching Halloween Ends all over again here. Brian, do you have any audio on you yet?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome
all right,
back.
Excellent. Thank you for saving me from an editing job.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, this didn't have to be complex. All you had to do is throw in some cool kills. Michael's back. There's no reason for a 4-year time jump. That served no purpose whatsoever.
None.
Like, if they wanted it to continue right after he killed, what was Laurie's daughter's name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, but if you wanted it to continue, like, I get okay. So
I would have liked them to continue that Halloween night. I mean, there was no reason why they couldn't have. And then, it had Michael Myers just, a 3-arc Halloween night and then at the end they kill him. Instead of this 4-year jump that made no sense whatsoever.
And then you got to disbelieve. You have to believe that he was able to live and survive off whatever that hobo was bringing him in the.
And we've lost everybody again for some reason or another. I'll try to get everybody back here. I still think it's an okay movie, but evidently I'm outnumbered here. Let me try to get everybody back here, and we'll be right back after these messages.
We are back.
And we are back. I was kidding about that commercial break, but I'm not really sure. I think it may be the curse of Michael Myers, where we continue having some drop-off problems here. But anyway, before it happens again, you guys are not a fan of this movie. I didn't mind it too bad.
I would give it a 1. I would definitely give it a 1 and a 0.
Wow. Yeah, 1. Look, I would honestly say don't even bother watching Halloween Kills. Like, just pretend there's the 1978 Halloween and then the 2018 Halloween, and Michael died in the fire. And those are 2 good films. Leave it at that.
I actually like Halloween Kills.
But the problem with Halloween Kills is you've opened it's Empire Strikes Back, so you've opened it back up to what happened at the end.
Right.
Here's a bright idea. If you're looking for a scary movie this Halloween, something recent, something fresh, something new, go watch X. Go watch Pearl. Don't turn this movie on. Don't give them any good horror movies. It's a 1 out of 5. Go watch something that's actually entertaining and has some creativity behind it instead of this corporate schlock.
I wouldn't watch Smile either. I went and saw Smile, and that was kind of boring. To be honest with you.
But that's fun B-rate horror. Like, this movie's just like blech. It's just drained of all imagination. At least Smile is something interesting. It's somewhat scary.
It had a few good jump scares, but for the most part, it was kind of like, other than the evil smile, even the jump scares are like, oh, it's someone just behind a door, and it's nothing. It's one of those fake out jump scares. It's not like real jump scares. So I don't know. It was all right.
Horror is weak this year. It's been a weak year.
Well, I heard Terrifier 2 was really good.
What?
Well, I've heard Barbarian's really good. Did you see Barbarian, Alex?
I did.
It's on HBO Max. It just dropped. So.
You should watch Barbarian 2.
What is that?
X, Pearl, all
Barbarian 2. Is Barbarian 2 out? I watched X. I enjoyed it, but mainly because of some scenes with Brittany Snow, but Mia Goth. But other than that, it was, again, I would say that X was, there was nothing special about that other than the premise was mildly interesting. I haven't seen Pearl, though.
Pearl's really good. I would.
What is X about?
It's about
kids going to an old farmhouse to make a private movie, and old woman starts killing people.
It's pretty good.
So kind of Friday the 13th.
I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a fun concept.
A horror movie that we saw a few weeks ago. Did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned this before or not. We went and saw the Nosferatu, 100-year anniversary of Nosferatu, where they had a live band playing the score. Kind of not the score from the movie, but a made-up score. But it was not like a rock band or anything like that. It was like a 4 or 5 piece band playing classical music to it. So that was pretty cool.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, pretty nice. A little something different.
A little something.
Something there. All right. Are we done with movies? Over to TV?
I think so.
TV. I mean, we didn't talk about this in the green room, and we haven't talked about it in a while. But are we going to talk about She-Hulk?
Oh yeah, we got to.
So She-Hulk ran their 8 episodes. I don't know, 6, 8 episodes, whatever it was.
There's 9 actually.
9 episodes.
Total.
Again, I think I'm going to be one of the lone stars here, to where the ending, again, most people hated it. I didn't hate it for what it was. In other words, the whole series was not that good. It felt like it had a lot of potential to be good. Everybody loved the actress. Everybody got over the CGI and all that kind of stuff. The premise of it felt like it had a lot of potential to do something with that they didn't do anything.
Just the writing.
Just the writing, yeah.
Just the writing.
And the ending, as goofy and cornbally as it was, it didn't bother me too much. I mean, it was completely stupid. I admit that, but
Yeah. I agree.
but it was for, again, you could picture something like that happening where, and it probably did happen, where She-Hulk starts talking to John Byrne or something like that from the comic books.
Well, it actually did happen.
That's why I figure it probably did. So in that respect, I was like, okay, I'm okay with this, even though it was completely goofy.
Yeah, I had actually a pretty splendid time. For as much as She-Hulk dragged in the middle, I liked the first episode. I liked the first 2 or 3, not that badly. But the last 2, I had a really good time with. And the finale was fun and stupid and silly. And it gave Tatiana Maslany the space to actually kind of be the character that everyone wanted to see. So
Who wanted? Not everyone wanted to see that.
I had a great time.
All right, so I think I've put more thought into this series than I probably ever should have.
That's probably true. Than anyone has, the writers included.
For sure. I feel like the writers got together, and it's a millennial writing staff, right? And they're wanting to do this meta storytelling. They want to check off that. Let's do meta stories. You know what? Let's shake up the status quo. You know what? People aren't going to like this show. You know, you're going to have male viewers are not going to like this show, right? So instead of giving us a chance to like it, right, or writing something that might hit a broader swatch of viewers, they went on the attack mode, and it's like the writers turned on the biggest percentage of their audience. They're like, well, male viewers aren't going to like this. Well, they're all incels, so just go after them anyway. Like, they're not going to like this. We're definitely not going to write something that they would like. You know what? The villain of this show is our audience, is the male viewer of this audience, of our show.
Yeah.
And like that's where they wrote this show from. So the assumption was, I'm not going to like it, so they're writing it honestly as like a fuck you to that portion of their viewership. Right, and the finale was the one big giant fuck you at the end. We're not even going to pay off the storylines that we proposed
and
in
having
this
a
show.
big fight scene.
You might want a fight scene. We're not going to give it to you. Like all these movies come down to somebody stealing the blood and getting powers. Okay, like I agree with you that you didn't have to do that. Like. But this turned into one giant fuck you to the Marvel fan base. So I'm just like, I don't get it. It's like they knew we weren't going to like the show, so they intentionally just started attacking a large section of the viewership.
I put some thought into that.
They didn't really resolve anything. Like, who took her blood? I mean, was it that guy? I mean,
I think that's kind of the point of the final episode is Jen going, none of this makes any sense. Who stole my blood? Why is there a Todd Hulk? Why is Bruce back? Why is this all happening? Why is everyone here? And it's just this culmination of, to me, here's my thing. I think I agree with Brian, is that the writers of the show seemed like they wanted to write a female-centric comedy that's for the female viewer, and I have no problem with that. I really don't. What does get annoying is like the constant like, this fans think this way, the fans think that way, but I'm this is my show and I'm gonna do it. It's like, yeah, we get it. I actually want to watch your show, She-Hulk. So maybe do something instead of just bitching about this thing. Because guess what? I'm here for it. I'm watching week by week. And it's like, but with the finale, what I did appreciate it was like, it kind of put, I thought it put kind of this other shit on back burner. And it was just like, you know what? We're actually just going to do something that's pretty faithful to the comic books, and we're going to have a good laugh. And by the end, it's just besides Scar, which is dumb. But it's like, by the end, we're just going to have a fun time. And hopefully you walk away and you go, that was a fun, clever episode. And that's it. It's just stupid fun. That's what I got out of it.
Well, I get the stupid fun, and I didn't even have any problems with her breaking the fourth wall. I mean, because she did that in the comic book. Where I find that it went off the rails is when you start changing the story. I mean, you're invested in the story, and then all of a sudden it switches it up and saying, "Oh no, that's stupid. What are they doing? Why is Bruce here? And why is this guy become a Hulk now?" And now she's breaking the fourth wall and she's changing the story, and now you've just kind of screwed it all up. So you've invested 9 episodes into watching this, only to come with a very unsatisfied conclusion, not because of what happened, but you don't really know how it concluded. I mean,
to be fair, this show never said it was like going to be a full narrative that was leading to a finale. From the day one, they said this is a half-hour comedy series.
I just assumed that any movie or any show
would have some sort
finale. Yes.
Really? You think that a season of Frasier's going to build to an ultimate climax?
Yeah.
No, that's not what a comedy is. It's a half-hour sitcom. It's a situational comedy with superheroes.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
And here's the thing too.
They promised, and it's like whether you like the comedy or not, it doesn't really matter. They said what they did, and then at the end they stuck to their guns and were like, no, we're still not going to do the thing that you think we're going to do. We're going to do what we did, what we said we were going to do. And I admire it. It's creative and it's a little fun. It's more creative than the rest of the show ever was. And I'll take it.
No, see, here's my thought is, back to what I was saying a second ago, they went after the fan base. They wrote this thing with no end game in place. None of it mattered. They were intentionally writing stuff that didn't matter because it was going to be one big FU to the. They made us the villain, and they spent so much time making us the villain. It diminished a story they could have told.
Did they make us the villain though? Did they?
Yeah.
I mean, we got Daredevil, we got Wong, we got Abomination, we got Hulk.
We got Wongers.
We got Wongers and Daredevil.
And we got her to break the fourth
but they
wall.
did. They said you're not going to like this show. You're not going to like this show. This show's not made for you. Okay, I'm not going to like the show. The show's not made for me. Maybe you're selling me short, but okay. But they don't then have to go intentionally repeatedly say. And take story elements and write the story to specifically to piss this section. They wrote this story, and especially the finale, to piss off people intentionally. And don't let it be lost on the fact that these writers found a way to write themselves into the fucking show.
Millennials.
They wrote themselves into the show and gave themselves like on-screen parts. What the fuck?
I think that's funny. It's something that she did in the comics. She met John Byrne. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me too much.
It's the same
she
thing
met John Byrne
and rewrote the story.
John Byrne didn't write the She-Hulk comic intentionally to alienate the audience.
Well, to be fair, he kind of did. I mean,
How?
From when John Byrne first picked up that book, it's a feminist book. It is very pro-women in the workplace.
Here's the thing.
Pro-women in the pursuit of their sex lives. Like, it privatized. It had something to say, and it did. And for the time it actually came out,
there's a difference, Alex. There's a difference in saying it's feminist, it's pro-women. That's fine. What I'm talking about is when they're going in and specifically saying they're using She-Hulk as a hero to say we don't want you as fans. We don't want you as fans. If you can't take She-Hulk the way we want to write it, we don't want you as fans. And we're going to build this up and do this fake out in the 9th episode. We're telling you there's a narrative. We're telling you there's plots. We're telling you these things are important. And then the last episode go, haha, fuck you. None of this matters.
I was on board till the last episode. And I thought, and I was even on board halfway through the last episode until they did all that. And then that was like, that's kind of stupid. You know what I would have liked? Let me just back up a little bit. What I wouldn't have minded is if she did that stupid little kid, Kevin Feige, he meets everybody, goes and all that, and then all of a sudden she wakes up and she's still in the battle, and she was knocked out.
Okay,
she dreamed all that. That would have been at least, and then they would have resolved the battle and finished the battle. Then it would have been like, okay.
Well, here's the thing.
Something.
So when Bruce shows back up, like that didn't make. They're basically telling me that you're only here to see Bruce. So here's Bruce back to fight her battle for you, you chauvinist pig. Oh wait, haha, that's not what's happening. None of this matters. Look, I was invested in that series to see Jennifer Walters grow as a character and tell me compelling stories and be the hero at the end of the series.
Yeah.
That is not what we got. If you want to talk about the promise of the premise is you're telling us a narrative, you're telling us a superhero journey, you're telling us a hero's story arc, right? And then at the end, you're just like, no, you've wasted 6 hours on this. Haha, none of this matters. Go get bent.
But again, they didn't say that this was a narrative. They never said it was a narrative. They said it was a half-hour comedy. They've said it from day one.
The story evolves as a narrative.
Every episode is kind of self-contained. Besides, like a few hints.
Like there's you can say you liked it without making it out like this wasn't a plan to begin with.
Well,
you had the first episode. She gets powers. She trains with Hulk. She has a motivation. That's a narrative and a motivation and a plot line. The plot line advances to now she's got to find a job because she's lost work. The plot line advances. Somebody's out to steal her blood. You introduce the wrecking crew. The plot advances. She starts dating this guy. This guy fools her, steals her blood. The plot advances. All this stuff going on with Abomination, right? This is a plot and a story arc that they basically at the end said, we were just fucking with you. None of this stuff is real. None of this stuff matters, and you're a chump for thinking it did.
Can I make a counter proposal to that?
One quick one, because I want to hear what Jonah thinks about She-Hulk. Again, I want a young person. You guys are getting too old for me. I want a young person's opinion. Real quick, Alex.
It should be quick. I can agree that there are things that like line up throughout the series, but if Jen's arc through the series then is her coming to grips with who she is and the control and power that she has, not only as a lawyer, not only as a Hulk, but just as her person in general. And the finale kind of cements that. She fully takes control of her life. She's saying, no, I don't this is the power I have and I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to benefit the people around me, to benefit my life. Like, she's taking full control. She's not letting a man, she's not letting her coworkers, she's not letting intelligentsia, she's not letting any of this like control her anymore. She's fully taking control. So in that sense, it lines up perfectly.
So Alex, now that they've done this, what happens when She-Hulk is in the lineup and they're trying to take down Kang?
Well, Kevin already said that that this will never happen again, that they're never going to let her break through. So she's just a superhero in this world now. She's just living her best life. Sounds good to me.
All right, Jonah, did you watch any of this?
So there's not going to be this whole meta thing where where when the world's people are dying and the world is coming to an end, or the threat of the world's coming to an end, she's not going to go, you know what, guys, the real bad guy's not Kang. It's this fucking Kevin computer is the one that's really the one doing all this.
No, because she doesn't do that in the big events in the comic books. She doesn't do that kind of stuff. So it's these different styles. I mean, I don't expect the Avengers movies to have the same political espionage of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. I don't expect that tone to carry over. So I don't expect the comedy of She-Hulk and the fourth wall breaking to carry over into Avengers. So, it's like there's genres here. And, some genres are going to come over. But I don't think we're going to see She-Hulk break the fourth wall. And maybe we will. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe she will give a wink at
the camera. I'd love to see a Norman Fell wink at the camera.
Here's the thing. I like She-Hulk. I like the character. I like the comic. I like the character. I like the actress. I hate this fucking show. Wow. I hate the writing. I hate the way it ended. And to me, I don't want to see her in anything else.
Ouch. Jonah, please jump in. Help a brother out. Help his sister out.
Yeah, I kind of tapped out after that twerking scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was done. I was done after that.
Fair enough.
He quit. Yeah, when you were saying you want to get his, I was like, well, he quit with Megan Thee Stallion. He was like, I'm done.
I saw her twerking, and then I watched the Daredevil episode, and I was done. Okay. I don't even know what happened in the finale, and I don't want to know. That show is so bad.
I love the Daredevil episode. I have a great time.
Let me... I don't even want to ask Brian's opinion about how he feels about Matt Murdock on preying on young women. Podman Ron, do you have any strong feelings as we've had with these other two?
About what?
Oh my God! About Andor. Has anybody been watching Andor at all?
No.
Andor's gotten some pretty good buzz. I've not watched it, but
I know I need
it's Star Wars. I'm not watching it.
Wow.
It's got the thing is, it's got really good buzz, but that first episode was just so goddamn slow.
Yeah.
And it's not an important story. It's not an interesting, particularly interesting, corner of the Star Wars universe. I'm sure it's great, but
it's not interesting.
I have not.
Nah, I'm over Star Wars. Let's get back to She-Hulk. I think I pretty much said my piece on it. It was interesting. It could have been funnier. I think the jokes were pretty terrible. The lady that plays She-Hulk, I can't never pronounce her name.
That's okay.
She's good. I liked her. She was probably the best part of that series. Poor writing, and like Brian said, I agree with Brian with this. It was like a big fuck you. I mean, you invested 8 episodes into this. You watched half of that episode, the finale, and then they do that stupid ending and basically said, "Oh well, no, that's not how it ended. This is how it ended," and it makes no sense. So. Ha ha ha, it was all funny, and we moved on. Like I said, it would have been better if she would have woke up and it was a dream sequence when she was, knocked out during that fight, and she dreamed all that, and then she woke up from it.
But that's not true to the character.
I get that, but then I get that, but sometimes everything in comic books shouldn't translate exactly on TV, especially when you're creating a universe. So
I'll never forget watching that and watching her break through Disney Plus. I laughed out loud. I thought
it was clever. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really funny. I really, really had a good time.
And this is why we have no comedy anymore.
But
this is what you guys.
This is what you call comedy.
This is what you call a comedy.
I thought it was funny that she made it the show made it seem like us, the viewer, just quit watching. We just were done.
Right. Maybe there's something to that.
And half of them did, actually.
Or like when Kevin was like, "Can you please transform back? You're too expensive." That's really funny. I thought it was humorous. I
enjoyed that.
Alex, I need you to watch Something About Mary. That's comedy.
That's comedy gold.
I don't think.
right there.
Listen, I don't think
Kingpin?
the show is. I don't think the show is that good at all in terms of quality. But it's like there's some stuff here in the last 2 episodes that I really enjoyed. The Daredevil episode I loved from start to finish. I had a great time.
It almost sounds like Alex is treating this. Alex has said that this is a sitcom, and I'm watching it like a sitcom. And Brian, you're trying to analyze how can Jack Ritter really have 2 dates going on at the Regal Beagle at the same time? You know, you're trying to really analyze how much time and how they couldn't know that the other one existed.
And that's a good point, Brad, because I said at the beginning of this, a few weeks ago that, Marvel's good about doing genres, and this was a sitcom genre, but at the end of the day, it also is part of this Marvel universe. And although I could take her fourth wall breaks here and there, when you're making a total change of the story, it's a little bit.
Well, here's where I'm at though. Like, I'm fine with it being a sitcom. I'm fine with it being a sitcom. It wasn't a sitcom.
Well,
at no point during the show has it been a sitcom until this last episode. So they basically said, "Oh, we don't know how to write our way out of this. We don't like anything. You know what? It's all shit anyway. It's a sitcom." Well, it wasn't a sitcom when Wrecking Crew attacked her. It wasn't a sitcom when...
it was a sitcom. You just didn't laugh. I mean...
it was sad funny.
That may be
funny,
the thing that may be the thing we need to hit, is that it just wasn't your comedy.
Yeah,
well, no, but my point is, you created a plot and promised a climax. If you wanted to make it a sitcom, fine. Make it a sitcom.
But it's a plot that amounts to maybe 15% of the show.
They went to so much effort to make this the show, when all they had to do was just make it a sitcom and have different court cases.
Right, that's what they should have done.
Nine court cases, or 8 court cases, and the last court case is a 2-part.
Yeah,
right, and have Stiltman and have the Frogman and have.
I actually like the Frogman. I actually like that. I actually like the episode with Daredevil with Frogman.
And so that should have been every episode.
Yeah,
that should have been every episode.
That was a good episode.
The Daredevil episode should have been the quality of the show from the beginning.
Right,
they got it so right in that episode. It was where was
if you had the pilot with all the stuff with her and Bruce, and then every episode after that was the
case with somebody.
A case with somebody.
Yeah.
Guest star introducing some goofy third-rate villain, a bad guy, and that's where you got your yucks. And then the last case could be something that tied back to an overarching thing and with the cases, or it could just be a 2-part case,
or it could make Abomination.
Make the Abomination trial the 2-parter at the end. And if you want to have Abomination go on a rampage and she's got to knock him out, okay. So you get a little bit of action in it, but that's all you had to do.
Right.
But it's like they couldn't. It's like this premise, which is promising and proven to work. They're like, nah, we don't want to do that. That's boring. Well, what's interesting to us as writers? What's interesting to us as writers is ourselves and the people that don't like what we do. So let's attack them and promote ourselves.
Let me ask you this though: the little opening thing about the the Incredible Hulk TV show, that was kind of cool, right?
I liked that.
That was cutesy. I liked it. All right. Well, so no one's watching. I'm going to get off of She-Hulk because we spent way too much time on She-Hulk. Andor. Nobody's watching Andor. It seems like. Anything else?
No.
Nope.
Nothing else. What else is coming up? Anything new coming up?
Well, I'm watching something, and I want to bring this up to Alex.
Oh, no.
All right. So, have you watched any more of Rings of Power?
No. Gave up on it already.
All right. You gave up at the wrong time.
Nope.
Well,
not for you.
You kind of did. So, The build up, if you can make it to episode 5,
I
Good
can't.
Lord.
That's a lot of commitment.
You've already asked too much, Brian. I'm sorry.
well, do you know what happens in episode 5?
Does Sauron show up?
So, essentially, the build up, those 4 episodes, the first 4 episodes are setting up the chess pieces and where they're at on the board. The fifth episode is where all of it comes together.
Oh,
and you realize what's in, well.
So what now?
Do you want to hear what I'm trying to tell you, or just okay?
I hate that show. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well,
I've not watched it.
there's no reason to hate the show. So essentially, what happens in the 5th episode is you realize the trenches they were digging, right?
Yeah.
Were all to divert water from the dam, right? And the hilt of the sword was actually the key to open the dam.
Right.
Well, when they opened the dam and they diverted the water, it caused Mount Doom to erupt.
Oh, that's cool.
And so when Mount Doom erupted, that's why the Southlands becomes Mordor. Everything is on fire. Everything is burned. So episode 5 is the buildup of, it's the origin of Mordor. And so it even goes and says, it even shows when the mountain erupts and everything's like, people are dead everywhere. There's just fireballs everywhere. Everything is completely burnt and ash and smoldering. It changes the end. It goes the Southlands, and then it changes it to Mordor.
But then I heard the lead character goes into the writer's room and they change it.
All right.
Yeah.
Gollum goes in.
Gollum goes
Then
in.
then episode 6 is the aftermath of Mordor. Episode 7, it's 8 episodes. Episode 8 builds 7 and 8 build to, you realize the reveal of who Sauron is there, and the reveal of who the stranger is.
Okay.
So yeah, first 4 episodes are world building and introducing what the chess pieces are and where they're placed on the table. Episode 5, it goes to shit immediately, and then it's like a different show after Mount Doom erupts.
And these are 1 hour shows, right?
They're 1 hour shows.
You only had to wait 4 hours.
Yeah, only had to wait 4 hours for a
Dear
big
Lord.
payoff.
I'm sorry, I sat through all those Lord of the Rings movies, and I mean, they were good back then, but
Now,
I don't know.
I haven't rewatched them. Every time whenever there's a rainy day, I always threaten my kids with, we should watch the extended edition of all the Lord of the Rings movies.
God.
Here's
And
my thing.
they find something to do. They go out and stand in the rain instead. They have no
Here's my
interest in
thing. I hate to say it, but it's like I can only give my priority to one prequel fantasy show at a time. Maybe
well, it's not Andor or Lord of the Rings. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about House of the Dragon,
Oh, okay, of course, yeah.
which ended with a bang. Here's the thing: is it even greenlit for season 2 yet?
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings?
you're getting season 2, yeah.
All right. If it's season 2,
Oh, and you
should
know how
commit to it
you
now.
the whole thing with so the one other piece, you hated Gladriel, right?
Hazer.
And I said there's a reason why they're writing her this way. She's going to have her comeuppance. Well, she does. She gets her comeuppance. So basically, when you realize who Sauron is, it's she.
Well, don't tell me, because I may watch it.
When you realize who Sauron is, that's why they wrote her that way, is because she majorly screws up. And it's all her attitude and her beliefs and all the stuff that you didn't like was all her downfall, and the reason why, and it's a big part of why Sauron regains power.
All right, maybe I'll try again.
maybe you will. Hey,
Brian, if it sucks.
yeah, he's coming for you, Brian.
See, the thing is, I had to tell you this stuff to get you reinvested. If you had watched that 5th episode, I think you would have been like, oh,
What's sad though? You shouldn't have to go to 5 episodes.
Thank you,
They can't
PMR.
get you
That's
the
exactly what I was
2 or
going to
3.
say.
you know,
I shouldn't have to do it.
They need to stop. I mean, by God.
But at the same time, right? At the same time, like that's the Tolkien way. Is think about the Fellowship of the Ring, right? The Fellowship of the Ring, when they get to Rivendell, like it's like two different movies. Like you've got all the stuff in the Shire and getting out of the Shire and the ring wraiths and all that kind of stuff, and then you've got Rivendell and everything that happens after Rivendell. It's really like two movies.
But can I tell you the difference? I tell you the singular difference is that in the first Lord of the Rings movies, I really like the characters as soon as I meet them. In this show, I do not. I care about pretty much none of them. Like, I had a hard time. The kids I don't like. Galadriel, I'm glad it pays off in a way, but I don't like her. I kind of like the Black Elf, but even then, I don't really know anything about him.
Is Jonah doing his hair back there?
Yes.
He's getting bored. We got to get Jonah, what are you watching other than Lord of the Power of the Rings nowadays?
House of the Dragon.
Literally nothing. I watched one episode of the Lord of the Rings thing, and I almost fell asleep.
Ouch.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry. Like, I don't fall asleep while watching stuff, but that first episode was so boring.
But this have the most well-edited thing I've seen all year at the end. So well-edited. Great piece of music, too. I'll give you credit.
Now,
got a great piece of music.
I would liken that fifth episode to like Usual Suspects, like the Kaiser Sose.
Wow!
Like when he realizes, when he's like looking at the wall and he realizes the lie that Kaiser Sose's been telling. It's like that was like I was like, oh shit, that's what they were digging those ditches for. Oh shit, wait a minute, that's Mount Doom, and it explodes, and you're like, oh, like that was like the equivalent to it. Jonah has been. You want to tell him what you've been reading?
Oh yeah, I read Daredevil, Man with No Fear.
Let's go.
Or Man Without Fear, and I read Batman Dark Knight, all 4 issues, and I finished. Wait, what's the Punisher book? Who?
Welcome Back, Frank.
Yeah, Welcome Back, Frank.
Oh, that's
Punisher.
I like that one.
I think I'm gonna start Long Halloween tonight.
Let's go. Long Halloween's great.
Digging through some back issues. Yep. So. That's what he's been doing, reading a bunch of comics.
Yeah.
He needs to read Daredevil Born Again. It'll change his life.
Well, I told him Born Again and Guardian Devil.
Yeah.
Like the 1-2 punch of it.
And Spider-Man Blue. You should read Spider-Man Blue, too. It's a good book.
I've never heard of that one.
It's really good. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Green.
Yeah.
No, Hulk Gray. It was Hulk Gray.
Hulk Gray. Somebody red. Daredevil yellow. Captain America red? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Those are great books. Each one of those is really good in its own right.
All right. Well, that's what Jacob's looking at. We're on to what you're looking at. That's good.
Wow, who's Jacob?
Where's Jonah, Jacob, whichever one. Jonah.
Whichever.
Oh, give me
it's
shit.
PBJ.
I'm going to get used to this new format, okay?
Well, there's PMR and now there's PBJ.
Yeah, there's PBJ.
Okay.
Pod-Boy Jonah. PBJ.
I like it. We love our acronyms and nicknames around here. All right. Well, what else? What else are you looking at? PMR. Speaking of PMR, it's been awfully quiet.
Please.
Nothing really. I know what I'm watching. I went back to 2005. Watched the show that I always heard about. Started watching it. 30-minute show. Mildly entertaining. It took a while to get into, but second season I really got into it is Entourage.
Oh wow, well, that's came out of left field. I like that.
Yeah. I mean,
he won't watch House of the Dragon. I can't get him to watch House of the Dragon.
Dude,
He'll sure watch Entourage.
30-minute show, man.
Yeah.
You know, I like 30-minute quick shows, and
I love 30-minute shows. No shame
yeah,
in that.
it's entertaining, man. So
Multi-season shows.
You know, it's kind of funny. He stars in the big production of Aquaman and his universe. James Cameron's Aquaman. At that.
Right.
Yeah, I actually like this show a lot. I guess I should have watched it. You know,
should have watched it to begin with.
Came on, but
when it was relevant.
Yeah, when it was relevant. But
speaking of, I started rewatching 30 Rock. Does that count?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, that's a good
I tried to watch 30 Rock recently. I was like, this did not age well, did it?
Because it's funny. That's why.
It's not very.
The history
I did
of
not
Pod-Boy.
find it very funny.
I did not find it
I like
amusing.
them.
That lowbrow humor.
I like 30 Rock.
All
You want
right.
to hear my Black Panther prediction?
Oh, sure. Let's hear. This is the going into the predictions
Dr.
phase
Doom's
of the
gonna show up?
podcast.
If you say Dr. Doom's going to show up, I know you read that somewhere.
Nope. Who do y'all think
Nope.
the new Black Panther is?
Probably Shuri.
Well, we're led to believe it's Shuri, right?
Yeah, but I honestly think
Don't say Storm. Don't say Storm.
they cannot do this. I honestly think it's going to be T'Challa. Or T'Challa. And it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. And he's the T'Challa from a multi-universe, from another universe.
Don't,
Does
Brian,
he-
don't.
Well,
don't
let me ask
say
you:
it.
when he comes
Yes,
back,
sir.
does he grow breasts?
Does he have a curvy figure?
What?
Wait.
What say?
Is he gonna be facing his high school bully? Like,
No,
is,
no, 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 no,
is
no,
this?
no, no,
Are we
no.
talking about like the big bad guy that went to prison while he went to juvie?
Yeah,
Is
you're
that who
getting
he's
very.
facing?
You're
Did he go to
confusing
school with
universes.
Kang and did he go to school with
Oh.
Kang in his universe?
You see in the trailer, you see
Yeah, exactly.
it's a
right.
female in the costume.
Yeah, absolutely you do. That's called a red herring. Everybody, they want you to know.
Wait a minute.
All right. I mean, Marvel had erased the Spider-Man from No Way Home or whatever that was. So
I get
PMR
it.
is saying
Jesus
they're purposefully
Jesus
trying to
Christ.
fool us by putting in a female Black Panther.
Nobody wants a woman.
Black Panther. Yeah. I like your idea, PMR. I'm all for it.
Here you go. Here's my reason. All right.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Everybody is kind of cheesed that it's kind of like if the guy who's playing Batman dies and they don't want to cast because he was so popular as Bruce Wayne, so they'll never cast again. I mean, there's a lot of people that are
All right.
pissed that T'Challa.
I will bet you.
Hold on.
Hold on.
$100.
Hold on. Let's.
Hold on.
Before there's any
So-
bets, I want to hear him out to see what I need to wager.
So there are people that are pissed that they did not recast T'Challa. It's
Right.
like not casting, Steve Rogers or Tony Stark. I
Right.
mean,
So we're all
Okay.
with you so far, PMR. Let
yeah, I
us
can tell.
let us know when you're
So-
going to lose us here shortly.
So everybody wanted Michael B. Jordan to be back. They were pissed that they killed him off.
Right,
So
right.
that's your second thing. Your third thing is we've introduced multiverse throughout this whole
Absolutely.
phase 2.
Just-
I mean, that's all it's been phase 4. It's multiverse. Okay.
it's-
Hold on a minute.
Hold on, hold
I'll let
on.
you- I'll let you yammer for the past hour. So now
Oh my god.
Michael B. Jordan's character was actually born before T'Challa was in his
Right.
universe, right?
Right.
So what's to say in a multiverse universe that instead of abandoning Michael B. Jordan's character,
Right.
he accepted him and named him T'Challa because
He's
he
the first
accepted
one.
him.
Yeah.
He's the first one, and he becomes the Black Panther, and he comes into our universe and he's stuck there. And they go and they pull him from the other universe.
Right. So
mean,
so far,
and
I would
Michael-
say.
and hold on a minute. Michael
Okay.
B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman were best friends, so it would be an homage and an honor for him to play the part that Chadwick Boseman started.
Gotcha.
And-
Were they best friends? I never heard of them
Yeah.
being
They
best
were
friends
best
before.
friends.
Yes, you don't read.
You don't
So-
read anything,
I'm
Brian.
the one that doesn't read.
You don't read anything
don't
we send
read,
you,
son.
Brian.
Read the Inquirer, son. So anyway,
So I
there you
think
go.
I think we are all on board with you on that part of it, PMR. That is a
So let me ask
highly
you this.
possible thing.
Look, I will
But-
bet you. Look. Go grab me that hat.
I'll bet you $2.
Grab me that chrome cyborg.
Grab me that. Grab me that.
All right.
Yep. If Michael B. Jordan as T'Challa becomes Black Panther, I will eat this fucking hat.
Wow. It's like
I will eat this fucking hat.
this is a Werner Herzog
If this
moment.
happens, this hat, I will eat the fucking hat. There is no way in hell that what you just said will happen.
I'm taking a fucking screenshot of y'all smug, smiling faces,
I'm with you.
and I'm gonna fucking shove this in your fucking ass
Yep.
when it happens. Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Wrap it up.
I will eat this fucking hat.
Listen,
You better
if-
start
if the new-
marinating that motherfucker.
You better put some
If the
barbecue
new-
sauce on it.
if the new Black
damn right.
Panther takes off her helmet and it's Michael B. Jordan's face
On that
deep
body.
on, I'm gonna be like, holy fuck.
For someone who wants to be a scriptwriter, you don't know anything about fucking red herring. They're fucking telling you. this.
Why did we not start with this? Look,
Oh my God.
there is no fucking
We're 2
way in
hours
hell.
into it. We can't
There is
continue.
no way in hell. We're getting Michael B. Jordan, alternate dimension, T'Challa,
No, I say
as
you
Black
could.
Panther in this movie.
I'm saying that could happen.
It's an alternate dimension.
Hey,
Michael B.
hey.
Jordan is a woman.
Why?
Yeah.
Hey, and I say, until next time.
Wow. I love it.
somebody say it.
Please. Jonah, say it.
Somebody say it.
Save for the podcast.
Until
Save it for
next
the
time.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
Save it for the podcast.
Yeah.
Man, y'all are going. I can't
Play the
wait.
music, Brad. Play
I
the
cannot
music,
wait
Brad.
to shove
This
y'all
is-
fucking
Play
face.
the music.
We waited 2 hours for this. Let me say, though, I agree with you,
my.
Podman Ron. I say that is highly possible. However, the fact that I think we've seen action figures with the female Black Panther body.
I am not saying that she's not going to be in it.
Okay, you're just saying there could be 2 Black Panthers.
Thank you. I mean,
Okay,
it's not-
okay,
I mean,
I'm with you now.
that's why it's a red
Brian,
herring. I
does
mean,
that change anything for you, Brian?
There's no way in hell.
I
That's
think
happening.
there is a way in hell, but
Yeah.
it's a hard way.
I mean, come on now. I mean,
Oh,
you have the reason. You have the multiverse.
No,
you have the story.
Check.
You have the story because he was the firstborn of T'Challa. So
Check.
you have the story.
T'Chaka.
no, he wasn't the firstborn. Hold it. You're not even getting this right. You're not even getting this right. He wasn't T'Chaka's firstborn. He was T'Chaka. No, he wasn't. Go watch the movie. He was T'Chaka's brother's son.
Brother, whatever.
So he's
Yeah.
not T'Chaka's first son. He's T'Chaka's nephew. That's why.
Yeah, but you don't
That's
understand.
why he keeps calling T'Challa Cuz. Cuz is short for cousin.
PMR thing. PMR says, "Oh, they all call each other cuz."
Oh God! Wow.
Oh my god.
Screenshotting all y'all. Y'all are so fucking wrong. Okay. Standing by. Standing by.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
You don't understand, Brian. Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan were best friends. I mean, you're kind of forgetting that point.
That is the first thing I'm going to Google as soon as we get off this.
They never spoke before the movie or after.
They were best friends.
Here, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh my god.
Chadwick Boseman, I think, was like considerably older than Michael B. Jordan too.
They can be friends. PMR's considerably older than you.
Can we save it?
Fucking older than him.
Can we save it?
Oh my
All
god.
right.
That was
broken.
hilarious.
I'm broken, man.
Okay, here we go. Wait. Who is Chadwick Boseman's best friend? Michael B. fucking Jordan, motherfucker.
Yep.
Here you go. Here you go, motherfuckers. I'm gonna send this fucking screenshot to you.
All right.
And he's gonna. I can't even participate. I'm done.
No.
I can't participate. I can't.
No.
I didn't laugh at that. I knew that. I'm laughing at the other.
Now you fucking know. Oh,
Now you know his best friend.
You know that shit.
Oh,
Yeah, nice job,
he
cuz.
against me, Ron.
Read
Michael-
that. What's that say? one of you motherfuckers read that. What's it say?
Yeah,
Is it
they're extremely close.
Uh-huh.
is it gonna be Michael B. Jordan with like a wig on?
To our
Like
viewers, Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman, unlike their characters in Black Panther, Chadwick and Michael are incredibly close and have shown off their friendship at various events and award shows. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, popsugar.com. Never got that wrong.
Yeah, popsugar.com. They're the Forbes of best friends.
Yeah, they keep track. Have you seen their BFF tracker? That shit is, it's on
Have
point,
you not
cuz.
seen? Have you not seen their pendant necklace that connects?
Fuck you guys.
Yeah,
You know what?
total, I'm doing this to the microphone. There we go, to the camera.
You
The
better be
podcast.
marinating that fucking hat, dude. Because
Yeah.
you're going to be eating that motherfucker.
All right.
Okay, yeah, dude, like I love the fact that you stepped in. You stepped in.
He was the
stumbled
first
right out of the
born
gates
of his
with
brother.
the whole firstborn argument.
Oh, yeah. But,
That's-
okay.
that's irrelevant.
All right. That's irrelevant, but all right.
All right. Well, hey, that is
you're gonna eat that.
that is fascinating. It really is.
Now, hold on to that fucking
How are you gonna
hat.
eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, how you going to eat it? Because
Well-
that motherfucker's going to be eating that.
We'll see.
I was going
Oh,
to.
oh,
I
Oh,
was
God.
going to ask
So
Alex
what happens to
about
what happens to Ron when
Terrence
he's wrong?
Malick, but
Shut up,
It
Jonah.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, wait,
matter
that's a good
anymore.
question.
Yeah, what
That's a great
happens?
question, Jonah.
What happens to Ron?
I give you $5.
$5. No, I'm eating the hat.
Well, that's your
That's
fucking-
not. That's not equity.
what you
Why
said.
What are you gonna do when you're wrong?
there's
I
no
got
stakes in
told
this
you.
plot. It's like a
There's
She-Hulk
stakes.
episode.
Well, what are you gonna do? What are you? You're so certain this is gonna happen.
I know it's
What's
gonna
your
happen.
bet? What's your bet then?
I'll fucking eat. I'll eat
I'm
like
oh gosh.
salmon.
This
There you
hat?
I'll eat some salmon.
Will you eat this hat if you're wrong?
He'll send it to you. He'll send it to you in the mail.
Yeah.
I'll
right.
drive up there. Look, if you're wrong, you'll eat this hat.
I didn't say that. You said
Since
you
this
eat
is an
fucking
audio,
ass.
since this is an audio.
Yeah, we
podcast,
need some sort of
If
audio
you don't
feed.
know, Brian is holding up a black and white baseball hat. Specifically,
Yes.
I think it's a trucker style.
Yeah,
Yes,
trucker
It's a
Yeah.
trucker
Trucker
style
style.
with plastic
Plastic.
mesh webbing.
Okay.
Yes, but it
I will
is.
eat.
What was-
I will eat a red pepper.
What was
What?
God.
Red pepper.
just like they did in
as
Cobra
seen
Kai?
in Cobra Kai.
Jesus. Okay, no. We're not doing that, DMR.
Just like in Cobra Kai.
Brad, you hold the power. And
I know. I know.
Well,
Well,
wait.
again, I was hoping maybe next month we can talk a little bit about Terrence Malick movies, Alex.
That'd be great. I'd
would-
love
Terrence
that.
Malick.
I think we're after Halloween. We're going to do a Terrence Malick marathon at our house. So
Let's do it. Yes.
That sounds awful.
But
All
save
right.
us.
Wait, Ron, you never
God.
talked about Cobra Kai season 3.
No,
What's
we're
your-
good.
we really will have to
got-
save that. I'm running
He's
out of
got
tape.
another prediction for the next time.
All right.
Brad's running out of
I'm
tape.
running out of tape, people. So we would love to hear about that Cobra Kai prediction, but until
Love
next
to.
time,
We'd love to.
Cuz we're saving it for the podcast.